This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
The Sar Shalom of Belz once commented at his Lag BaOmer Tish about the incredible hashgacha that the episode of Reb Shimon and Reb Shimon, who ran away from the Romans, appears in Masechta Shabbos on what blot? None other than Daf Lamed Gimel, but not just Lamed Gimel, Lamed Gimel Amud Beis, Remez to Lag BaOmer. What an incredible hashgacha. But his student, the Rav HaKadosh Reb Shalom Mikaminka, he added an even greater pella. He says this story where Reb Shimon commented, "Kamasha tiknu loy tiknu elo l'tzarach atzman," that not only appears in Masechta Shabbos Daf Lamed Gimel Amud Beis, but that is actually, incredibly, the 33rd statement of Reb Shimon found in Shas. Amazing. So clearly, there's a great connection between Reb Shimon and the number 33, Lag BaOmer. He came out, according to the Aruch HaShulchan, he came out of the cave on Lag BaOmer. According to Bnei Yissaschar, he was born on Lag BaOmer. And of course, it is our tradition that Reb Shimon passed away on Lag BaOmer as well. So it struck me, and I thought to check, perhaps then, there might be some connection between Reb Shimon and the 33rd chapter of Tehillim. Ranenu tzadikim Hashem. After all, if Reb Shimon is so connected to the number 33, there must be a connection between him and the 33rd chapter of Tehillim. So you'll say, who says there's any significance to the chapters of Tehillim, the numbers of what chapter something is? And actually, this is a subject that I've been trying to research for a very long time, and I'll share with you what I have. But I came across a Chidah in his commentary to Tehillim in Parak Kuf Lamed Aleph. Now, Parak Kuf Lamed Aleph speaks about David HaMelech's humility. Shir Hamalois LeDavid, Hashem loy gava libi, v'loy romu einai, Hashem, my heart was not haughty, my eyes were not raised up, v'loy hilachti b'gdolos, I didn't walk with greatness of an aflois me many. Says the Chidah, it is not a coincidence that this is chapter 131. 131 is Gematria Anova. David HaMelech talks about how he wasn't a Baal Gaiva in chapter 131. So we see from this Chidah that there is a very strong connection between the number of parak and the content of that particular parak. Then I came across a comment of the Kajnutzer Magid. The Kajnutzer Magid in the Sefer Avodas Yisrael, in his Likutim, he says, if you look in parak Mem Beis of Tehillim, he says Parak Mem Beis has a pasuk that references Sfira, because David HaMelech says, "Sama nafshi le'elokim," my soul thirsts for God. Lekel chai, Kel is 31, Chai is 18. These refer to the 49 days of Sfira. Masai avay ve'era pnei Elokim. When will I come and see the face of Elokim? And we've said many times, there's a concept that Lag BaOmer is alluded to in the letters before Elokim, pnei Elokim. But says the Avodas Yisrael, Parak Mem Beis, which is 42, is the Parak of Sfira, because Ana B'Koyach, the shame of Ana B'Koyach, which is the shame Mem Beis, was Niskan for Sfira. So again, we have another makar, that there's a connection between the number of the parak and the contents of the parak. Then I saw, when we answer Amen, Amen is Gematria 91, there's a concept whenever you answer Amen, you create a malach, an angel. Angel, malach is Gematria 91. Well, look in parak 91 of Tehillim. What do we have in parak 91 of Tehillim? Yoshev b'seiser Elyon, we have the pasuk, Ki malachav yitzav elach lishmarcha b'chol derachecha. This is the parak of Malach, chapter 91. So again, we see a very clear connection between the number of the chapter of Tehillim and the contents of that chapter. I found in a Sefer Nishmas Kol Chai that what is parak 100 of Tehillim? Parak Kuf. Parak Kuf is Mizmar L'Soida. 100. What is the significance of Mizmar L'Soida? How many brachos are you supposed to make a day? The Sefer Nishmas Kol Chai quotes the Megala Amukais that David HaMelech was Meramez in Parak Kuf of Tehillim that all the karbanos will be batal except for the carbon taida, because the taida refers to tefillah, which is the secret of 100 brachos, and therefore David HaMelech was masakin mizmar l'soida as bracha 100. Also, interestingly, I found in the Arizal the word moidim. Moidim is gematria 100, and therefore David HaMelech was masakin mizmar l'soida chapter 100. Corresponding to Moedim, which has a numerical value of 100. Now, the truth is that this concept is already found in Shas, because the Gemara Megillah on Yud Zayin and Mebez discusses why David HaMelech, why the Anshe Knesset Hagdolah composed the bracha of Birchas Hashan and Baruch Aleinu as the 9th bracha. And Rav Alexandri says it's keneged those who jack up the prices, and David was mispalo for their destruction in the pasuk Shavar Zroya Rasha in the 9th chapter of Tehillim. So we already find it's already legislated in the Shas, it's already recorded in the Shas, this concept that the numbers of the chapters of Tehillim have significance. Actually, there's a discussion there, because David HaMelech really composed it in the 10th chapter, and there's a concept that Ashrei Ha'ish and Lama Ragshu might be one chapter. Okay, so based on this principle and this Yisoid, let us examine the 33rd chapter of Tehillim. Perhaps we could find a connection to Lag BaOmer. So, sure enough, I found in the Sefer Oira V'Simcha. The Sefer Oira V'Simcha was written by Rav Avram Simcha Horowitz. And Rav Avram Simcha Horowitz says an amazing thing. He says, look in the Sfarim HaKadoshim, that the numbers of the Kapitlach of Tehillim, each one, there's a remez to something connected to that particular number. And therefore, he suggests that Rananut Tzadikim is the parak associated with Lag BaOmer. And in fact, he says that if you take the words Mimechayin Shiftoi Hishgiach, it's Rashi Tevois, Gematria, Lag BaOmer. Then you go on to the next psukim, Lahatzel Mimaves Nafsham. You go to the end of this pasuk, Parak Lamed Gimel pasuk Yotes, Lahatzel Mimaves Nafsham, to save their soul from death. This is a remez that the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying on Lag BaOmer. And then, of course, Lag BaOmer is a day of Simcha, Kivai Yismach Libenu. And furthermore, we know that the power of Lag BaOmer is from the fact that Lag BaOmer, you have the Arizal teaches us that the letters Elokim, Aleph Lamed, Hey Yud Mem, these letters were Nisgale on Lag BaOmer through the Oisios HaKoidmos, the preceding letters, Aleph, Chaf, Dalid, Tesmem, which is Gematria 74, the name of Bitachon, Ad. Well, sure enough, Kivashem Kadshay, Vatachnu, Bitachon. The Shem of Bitachon is Ayin Dalid, which is the Shem of Lag BaOmer. And I would add, very simply, Lag BaOmer, we are noyeg, that we listen to music, where we loosen and we have a leniency in the restrictions of Avelos of the Yimei HaSfira. And what parak of Tehillim has a reference to more musical instruments than any other parak? Lamed Gimel. First of all, Rananut Tzadikim. Now, the Oira V'Simcha says that in the Zayar, Reb Shimon is constantly referred to as the Tzadik. But you have Hoidul Hashem Bechinar, Benevel Asar Zamrulai. We have Shira, Shirulai Shechadash, Heitivu Nagin Besrua. So we have many references to music and musical instruments, as on this day we are Mesameach Lekavoid, the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, who continued the Torah, Lekavoid, the great Tana of Shimon Bar Yochai. So next time you see Parak Lamed Gimel of Tehillim, take a look, discover the secrets of Lag BaOmer that lay hidden in Parak Lamed Gimel of Tehillim. We should be Zayich on this holy day, the Zechus of the Tana, Zechusay, Yagin Alin B'Kol Yisrael. Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.